So in your 60s, next thing on the horizon is potentially some government entitlements.
Right.
Now, perhaps not at 60, but as the rules stand today, and I suppose
Well, to be fair, your thing says prepare
Primarily.
for government entitlements.
So 67 is when the government Centrelink age pension eligibility starts. But planning earlier for that is important. So what that could be effectively is, again, back to my retirement days. Am I retiring at 67? Am I retiring before 67? If I am retiring at 67, I've got 4 months of long service leave. Do I pay that out before? Do I retire 4 months before so that at 67 my wages have stopped? Because if you're not working at 67, if you're getting some long service leave, that is going to affect your age pension eligibility. Are there some movement of funds legally between partners or different structures, i.e., if there's an age gap between spouses, maybe it's beneficial to move some cash into the younger spouse's name for Centrelink planning, or even maybe moving money out of the older spouse's super fund, withdrawing that tax-free and putting a non-concessional into the younger spouse. If both had started account-based pensions in their early 60s, we might commute or roll that back to accumulation for age pension strategy at 67. So understanding a bit of that and what the asset tests are, the income test, again, is getting you prepared for that. We know at 67 we may be eligible, but often it's the things we do before 67 is how we maximise that. And it might even be, if I've got a 200 grand mortgage and I've got X amount in my super fund, I'm going to get less age pension. So do I take that out and clear the mortgage before I go apply for Centrelink and the pension?
But that can be done the day before.
It can be done, but that's still the day before. I've seen people not do that until after. But that kind of proactiveness is key.
And I reckon the biggest consideration, if you are going to be on the line with age pension eligibility and you do have significant wealth, maybe, and this is where I want people to have permission to live and dream. We know we did that YouTube retirement sweet spot episode.
Case study,
it just went viral. I think there's close to 60,000 views of that episode that we did around that retirement sweet spot. But if you say, let's just say age 67, we're going to retire. We think we're going to own our house. The house is worth $2 million. It's going to be exempt from any Centrelink. That's awesome. We probably can live with $1,000 a week and some rats and mice from Centrelink or whatever. Yep. So the question is, if you do have a significant super balance, with this planning up to that age, we've got to talk about gifts. Did you always want to give the kids $30,000 to go towards their house? You really want to do that 5 years out from knocking on Centrelink's door. Yep. Okay, so that's number one. You can just talk to us about the gifts, actually. So it's with Centrelink, the most that you can gift people with Centrelink
is 10,000.
No. Let me put this tripwire in. Is as much as you want.
Yeah.
However,
good.
If it's over $10,000 per year or 30 over five, they will consider that as an asset and you'll be docked on your pension. Yep. So there's no gift limit in Australia.
And that is, I can't, what happened to some penalty? No,
and there is no gift tax.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I think I cut you off being a bit cheeky there, but realistically, if you know that you're going to retire at age 67 and you want to help kids or grandkids, do it 5 years out. Do it. If you're 60 now, you want to do all your gifting within the next 2 years.
Pre-62, and if you're listening to this at 64 and go, oh, whoops, today is still better than at 67 because at least it expires 5 years
so it's
after
rolling.
The date of the gift. So if you're listening to this in July 2025, well then if you gifted today, that gift would expire in July 2030. Yeah. Centrelink will have it on there as an asset. It's a deemed asset. And people, if I gift away, am I going to lose pension? You don't get any less pension. You just don't get any more pension. It sits there as a deemed asset till the time it expires, and then the fortnight after, you start to get an uplift. If that $20,000 gift is expired or the $100,000 gift is expired, then the fortnight after your pension starts to increase. So there's some definitely pre-planning around that. When is the right time to gift? How much is to gift? And also, spending and travel. So
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I said in that kind of the sweet spot and all that, leading up to that 67, it doesn't have to be within the 5 years. It can be the day before, the year before. You wanted to go on that big international trip. And this is the interesting thing. Do you keep working for the next year or 2 years, or do you retire earlier, spend the money on big family international holidays and do all that? Because I'll say it this way, if you gifted money to your kids and grandkids via going to the travel agent and buying them a holiday or as a family holiday, that's not considered a gift. It's expenses, basically. And you could get your travel agent to give you a receipt to say, oh, I want to pay for the whole family to go to Europe for 3 months. We're going to do villas everywhere. It's going to cost $300,000. Just travel agent, just give us an invoice, international holiday, Mr. and Mrs. Brown, $300,000, done. So you could retire a bit earlier, spend a heap of money traveling and spending money, and then at 67, you might have money less, but get a higher. You might have less money, but you'll get the maximum or a higher Centrelink benefit. But I will caution, we don't ever spend money or do things for the lowest common denominator. So we're not spending $200,000 on first class flights to Prague with everyone to get an extra $8 a week from Centrelink.
Yeah.
Like that's just
not working.
We're not doing it. But if it was a goal and you wanted to do it anyway, you may as well do it.
Do it. And if I always plan to upgrade the bathroom, we'll do that at 66 and spend the 30 grand rather than at 69 because that will be off your asset for Centrelink. And again, maybe a separate episode, but we did that other one, the sweet spot, but it was only on Tuesday or Wednesday this week. I was sitting with an existing client looking at their retirement projection chart and their early 60s now, and plan A was to work to 65, and the projections they're on is that at 65, their super balance is going to be at 1.4 or 1.5. They're going to live off 100 grand a year for the first 10 years of retirement. What our modelling showed is that they would be self-funded because they'd have too much assets for Centrelink, and their assets would start to dip, but it wouldn't actually be until they were 73, I think it was, until they would start to get some age pension. We showed them a plan B of what happens if you retired next year at 63. You wouldn't get to the same high point. You might be at 1.2 or 1.3 rather than 1.5, and you'd live off your own money rather than wages for a couple of years. They still didn't quite get the pension at 67, but I think they got it at 68, give or take. So they got some part pension 4 years earlier. And what that kind of showed their plan at life expectancy, they were not running out of money in either scenario. I think in the end they had it's like $100,000 difference, even though they were going to do, it was 3 or 4 years less of work.
Yeah.
So that was their choice of which path to take. But that's a kind of trade-off of planning of going, well, maybe it's not a bad thing that I'm self-funded and maybe use some of my assets. Now, again, I wouldn't do that just for Centrelink benefit.
And that's like, I'm not a fan of people saying, I don't want to work overtime because I have to pay more tax. It's like, well, no, you kind of don't pay more tax, just the way it's calculated. Like we're doing things. That's a good lesson for all of us. We need to have strategic lifestyle goals and decisions and all that stuff. We want to do this, and then we plug the finances into that plan. We don't set out to go, how can we maximize an extra $8 a week from the pension? All right, let's spend 200 grand.
Yeah.
Well, no.
It's a long way the shortcut.
If you do have a reasonable amount of money and you've had those lifestyle goals, now is a good time to do it. You may as well. I mean, you could do it later and your pension will go up. But it's all that, the travel thing, particularly.
Pre-plan, yeah.
You're a bit younger, you can probably move around more.
Yeah, the youngest we're ever going to be is today. Yeah. And in the end...
But not tomorrow.
And then the day after.
Yeah.
Then they left the meeting, so no, we'll stay with plan A. We'll work to 65.
Yeah.
Because that's their life. They enjoy their work, they want to see through some projects, etc. But at least they have the confidence in the back of their mind of going, if we had to, for health reasons or lifestyle reasons or other reasons, or we were made redundant, we know plan B actually works pretty well. There's that kind of that trade-off there that they're effectively the opposite of the sweet spot. They're going to be in the grey zone where you're actually better off doing a bit of spending and getting below a certain threshold. So
on stuff you wanted to do anyway.
Your plans to.
Oh, the bathroom, it's a bit older, we'll put up with it. Well, no, don't put up with it. You got the money, do it, and you'll get an extra $20 a week.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of mindset.
Exactly.
Hey, it's Glen here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.